Joining me now, the Dobbs ATeam. Ron Christie, former aide to President Bush, Republican strategist Miguel Perez, syndicated columnist Joe Trippi, Democratic strategist, Fox News political analyst, and we're going to show you a picture of Joe and me from in a little while. Don't worry about it, Joe. It's one of the good pictures. So it's great to have you all here and appreciate it. Let me begin with you, Miguel. The budget, this impasse. We just heard Congressman Gomer talk about they're putting together legislation to be sure the military gets paid. We know those on Social Security or whatever entitlement will be paid because that's outside the direct appropriations process. What do you think? Are we going to see a shutdown? And if so, what price will the Democrats or Republicans pay?
I think we are, unfortunately. I think that the two sides are still too far apart. The Democrats are coming up with this $33 billion deal that the Republicans in the House are, I don't think, ever going to go along with. There's 87 freshman Republicans in the House who pledged that they would not settle for anything.
Who gets the blame?
The Democrats are asking for a halfway union of some kind. They're not going to go halfway with the Democrats at this point.
So who gets the blame?
Half and half, and I think, Lou, the main problem here is that, you know, they're not talking about the major cuts. They're not talking about Social Security. They're not talking about defense spending. And what's going to happen? What kind of a government shutdown are we going to have when those real issues come up?
That's right. Well, let's find out from Joe Trippi. Joe, great to see you. Who's going to take the blame here?
I don't know. I mean, I think both sides are playing with a little fire here. I think Democrats want to see what happened with, or think they're going to see what happened with Newt Gingrich and the Republicans when they shut down the House in the 90s. I'm not sure that's going to happen here, but if I were advising the Tea Party, which they're not going to take my advice, would be, look, get the $33 billion cut and say we got this, and the only reason we got this is because you sent us here. If we could get this with this few of us, send more next time, and we'll get more fiscal sanity because the establishments of both parties aren't listening to us. But instead, I think they could be potentially marginalized here by their own leadership. I think is a real possibility.
Well, that would break Harry Reid's heart, wouldn't it, Ron Christie?
Well, of course. Look, I spent a lot of time on Capitol Hill on Wednesday night, Lou, talking to not only members of the leadership, but the rank and file. And I think it's very interesting, the split that you see. The leadership is very concerned that they're going to have a repeat of 1995 where they're going to get blamed, where the American people are going to say the Republicans can't govern. And the rank and file members I spoke to said, we were elected to cut spending. We were elected to try to reduce the size of government. We're not going along with leadership. We're not going along with what the Democrats want. I just think, Lou, at the end, the country suffers, and I'm worried about the country. And I'll say one last thing. I spent a lot of time talking to House Budget Committee Chairman Paul Ryan, and he seems to say exactly what Joe just said a moment ago. The real devil in the details is going to be the FY 2012 budget, and he's going to unveil his budget resolution next week. And so Republicans need to sit back and wait to see what Paul Ryan and the House Republicans are going to do, because I don't think that we should shut the government down and lose that political fight.
Let me point out again. The Rasmussen Reports poll shows 60% of Americans right now think it would be worth a partial government shutdown in order to get significant budget cuts. This is a message that was sent. I don't think there's much dispute. There's a lot of spin, but there's not much dispute about that message on November 2nd.
I don't know that the American public is aware of the specific cuts that the Republican Party wants to make. And so they want general cuts. Everybody wants general. Everybody wants the easy way out. We want major cuts, but we don't want to have to suffer for it.
Yeah, well, that may be true. But let's turn to Libya if we can. We're going to continue with you all through the commercial break. Joe, the president right now is being accused of contradiction, a confused policy in Libya, calling off combat operations at the very time the opposition that we don't know its composition is in full retreat in some parts of Libya, ending U.S. air support. What is going on?
Well, NATO's taking over that air support, and I think our planes are on the ground, except for I think refueling and reconnaissance and sort of keeping tracking things. But look, I think what's happening here is exactly what the president said. We're going to support humanitarian efforts to intervene in the conflict to stop Gaddafi from moving.
So you're not worried
troops, and that's it.
So we're going to be back to find out what else Joe Trippi's not worried about in just a moment, what Miguel and Ron are worried about. I'm not worried at all. And if you missed any portion of tonight's broadcast, go to LouDobbsTonight.com and subscribe to our audio podcast. Take us with you anywhere, on the train, the bus, the car, and subscribe now. Click on it on the right side of the page for the Lou Dobbs Tonight audio podcast. We continue with the A-Team in just a moment. We'll be right back.
If I were to offer you $50,000 in cash or $50,000 in gold, and you couldn't cash it in for 5 years, which would you choose? This free special report gives 5 compelling reasons why you should choose gold. In fact, once you read this exclusive report from Monex, you'll understand why more and more investors choose gold for both wealth protection and profit potential, and have as much as 20% or more of their assets in gold. So call Monex now at 1-800-600-9991 for your free report, and you'll also receive this free gold investors kit, which will show you the many ways you can own gold. So call Monex now, 1-800-600-9991. Get the facts on gold. Call Monex at 1-800-600-9991. 1-800-600-9991. Monex, America's trusted name in precious metals for 40 years.
Download the free app for the iPad, the iPhone, and Android. Stay connected with the Fox Business Network.
If you are a diabetic and concerned about maintaining your healthy blood glucose levels, please stay tuned to this important message. A market trial offer is starting now for a revolutionary breakthrough in natural blood sugar management called glycosine, and you're eligible to try it free for 30 days. We are looking for 200 callers to receive a limited 30-day trial, so call immediately. 1-888-459-9769. The ups and downs you experience from naturally fluctuating blood sugar levels can be frustrating. Clinical studies of the key ingredients in glycosine have shown these ingredients to be effective in supporting healthy glucose metabolism. And now this new formula is being released to the general public. Your area has been selected to try it right now for free. The first 200 callers are guaranteed participation in the trial. Call immediately to find out how to receive your free 30-day trial. 1-888-459-9769. 1-888-459-9769.
The Hollywood Reporter confirms it. The critical hype is justified.
We do not need a federal marshal snooping around.
It's the best dramatic series on TV, and season 2 is going to be even better.
Justice is coming.
A twisted triumph, smart, chilling, and unfailingly entertaining. Justified invokes the great ones: The Wire, The Shield, Deadwood, and The Sopranos.
Trying to stir things up.
You tell me, is it working?
Don't miss the all-new season of Justified, Wednesday, only on FX. Big egos.
Cut a hole in this hood and I'll cut your neck.
Big characters.
We'll take you on any day.
Big conflict.
Get out of my face!
Welcome to Hell's Garage. Car Warriors.
All stars versus small-town heroes in a 72-hour race to build the ultimate ride. And after Car Warriors, stay tuned for Car Science. This week, only on Speed.
We're back with the Lou Dobbs Tonight A-Team. Ron, you just heard Joe Trippi. What do you think? The administration confused, contradictory in its approach, or are they, as Joe suggests, getting it done?
No, they're not getting it done. You know, a few weeks ago, we were told that we didn't want to put American lives at risk. We didn't want to put our boots on the ground, that we were not going to have a no-fly zone. Now we have a no-fly zone. They went to the Arab League, and then they said that NATO is going to take over. This doesn't make any sense. If you apply the Obama doctrine, it seems to me that we should have intervened in Darfur, in Ethiopia, and several other countries around the world.
Maybe Iran, too.
Iran. I still don't see how this was in our best geostrategic or national security interest, Lou. I just don't.
It is in our interest to at least tell the whole world that we do not have this double standard where we support dictators who are our friends and are against some dictators who don't happen to be friendly to us. Well, so you know, when we did the right thing in Egypt, we should follow through with Libya in the same way. We should support the Libyan people.
Is it really?
Gaddafi cannot stay in power.
Isn't the real message here we'll only put up with a dictator for 41 years and and the other for a little over 30 years?
I come
that
from
we
a
have
country
limited
that
patience?
has one for more than 50.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that this is a message we want engraved in, say, chiseled in granite.
No, no.
But
The message is we stand by democracy and by liberty. That's it.
And the series-
And we don't always have to go fight for it.
That is what the opposition represents.
We don't know.
Joe Trippi, I want you to take a look at a picture we've got. We've got a picture to share with you at home as well. This is Joe Trippi and me. There's Michael Early. We were, by the way, Joe and I were.
Yes.
We were. I think we could call ourselves guests. Well, we could call ourselves co-stars. Co-guest stars. We had small
That's right.
parts. It was great fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great fun,
I
but
should
the
say we were on
fictional-
The Good Wife, by the way, on CBS.
Yeah, but the fictional Lou Dobbs had many more legal problems than the fictional Joe Trippi had. So,
Well, you know
it was
why?
good or
Because even
bad,
the
but-
fictional Lou Dobbs had a longer teleprompter. So,
Yeah.
no, anyway, it was great fun, and it was great
Yeah, it
being
was.
with you. So, and it's good of you to be here tonight. Look forward to seeing you soon. Appreciate it. Miguel Perez, thank you so much. Thank you, Ron Christie. We appreciate it, and look forward to the next edition, as they say.
Thanks
Well, up
for having me,
next,
Lou.
thank you. Up next, the answer to tonight's big question. But first, here's what the judge has coming up next on Freedom Watch.